Welcome to Data Literacy for the Busy Librarian. Let's look at today's agenda. First, we'll look at the session's learning objective. This will be followed up by looking at some clinical applications and clinical data standards. Then we'll have an in-depth look at RxNorm, and we will end our session together with an RxNorm demo. Today's learning objective is to apply selected metadata standards to a given data set in order to facilitate better sharing of data and understand the rationale for metadata. Back in an earlier video, we learned about some controlled vocabularies that were used to populate the electronic health record data standard. RxNorm was identified as one of many controlled vocabularies and/or medical terminologies that are used to populate the EHR data standard. RxNorm is a standardized naming system to codify clinical drugs, national standard for coding clinical drugs in the US, which is accessed through either RxNav or NLM's UMLS website. Let's learn more about RxNorm. RxNorm is intended to cover all prescription medications approved for human use in the United States. RxNorm is one of a suite of designated standards for use in the US federal government systems for the electronic exchange of clinical health information. The goal of RxNorm is to allow various systems using different drug nomenclatures to share data efficiently, and RxNorm provides standard names for clinical drugs, active ingredient plus strength plus dose form, and for dose forms as administered to a patient. It provides links from clinical drugs, both branded and generic, to their active ingredients, drug components, active ingredient plus strength, and related brand names. What is RxNorm? RxNorm is two things. First, it is a standardized clinical drug terminology, i.e. naming system. The RxNorm clinical drug name is formatted to reflect the drug's active ingredient plus strength plus dose form. Secondly, it is a curated collection of drug names, i.e. drug thesaurus. Where is RxNorm used? It's used in e-prescribing or electronic or digital prescriptions, clinical research, and in research data management in order to make data FAIR, which stands for findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. Last question, who uses RxNorm? Clinicians, pharmacies, hospitals, insurance companies, IT developers, and researchers all use RxNorm. The goal of RxNorm is to allow computer systems to communicate drug-related information efficiently and unambiguously. How do you gain access to RxNorm? Access is through the National Library of Medicine via their Unified Medical Language System, UMLS Terminology Services website. Once we access the NLM's Unified Medical Language System, UMLS Terminology Services website, you are taken to this webpage. Scroll down until you see RxNorm and click on the Browse button. Now click on the RxNav button to take you to the RxNorm webpage. We are now in RxNorm. Let's search for brand names for fluoxetine, which is used to treat clinical depression or depressive disorder. How many brand names do we see? We see 4 brand names on the right side of the screen. They are Prozac, Reconcile, Seraphim, and Symbiox. Let's look how many branded dose form groups are there for fluoxetine. There should be 9 branded dose form groups for fluoxetine. Let's look at this scenario. A psychiatrist has a patient who is currently taking the drug fluoxetine, which is commonly known as Prozac. The doctor wants to confirm what might occur if fluoxetine is combined with acetaminophen. What might occur? Let's first change the view on RxNorm by changing the tabs. Let's change the tab RxNorm graph to the tab Interaction View and look up acetaminophen from the table below. We see the severity of the interaction is not available, and the serum concentration of acetaminophen can be increased when it is combined with fluoxetine. This brings us to the end of this video, and I hope that you found it helpful.